Welcome to today's What Will Move the Market show. I'm your host Prem. It's Wednesday, October 8th, 2025, and here is everything you need to know as the markets open for today. Wall Street took a pause overnight after an impressive rally earlier in the week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slipped by 0.2%, the S&P 500 fell 0.4%, and the Nasdaq Composite dropped 0.7%. This pullback followed record highs for the S&P and Nasdaq just a session earlier, as investors turned cautious with the US government shutdown extending into its second week. The spotlight was on Federal Reserve speakers as traders searched for clues on the next move in interest rates, while the delay in key economic data due to the shutdown added a layer of uncertainty. Among the movers, advanced micro devices AMD stood out, gaining more than 25% this week on the buzz of a major AI chip partnership with OpenAI. Tesla shares also saw early strength after chatter about an upgraded self-driving feature, but settled slightly lower pre-market. Gold meanwhile briefly touched a record high above $4,000 as investors sought safety, but retreated as the dollar firmed up. Turning to Indian American depository receipts, overnight, ADRs posted mixed moves reflecting the global caution. Infosys closed down 1.74%, while HDFC Bank closed up 0.23%. ICICI Bank was better and closed up 0.91%. These subdued moves in key Indian ADRs signal a wait-and-watch mood for Indian equities as global uncertainty persists, giving investors modest cues to start the session. Across Asia this morning, the Nikkei 225 in Japan continues to scale record peaks, closing just under 48,000 at 47,951, pushed higher by optimism around Japan's new Prime Minister and continued monetary stimulus. However, profit-taking tempered gains in some high-flying tech names. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong is off to a cautious start, opening around 27,054 after closing at 27,141 the prior session, with traders taking a breather after recent highs. Do note, China's mainland markets remain closed for the final day of their national holiday, so volumes are thinner. Closer home, GIFT Nifty futures are holding near 25,204, suggesting a flat and muted opening for the Indian benchmarks. With global cues mixed and ongoing caution in the US, traders are likely to remain guarded as the day begins. On the geopolitical front, the Middle East remains firmly in focus as Arab leaders gather in Egypt to discuss the Trump 20-point peace plan, aimed at achieving a durable ceasefire. Tensions and risk aversion from these talks are keeping global investors on edge. Elsewhere, the US government shutdown is stretching on, which not only delays key economic data releases, but also raises uncertainty around monetary policy. Gold's recent rally towards $4,000 and fresh strength in the US dollar highlight the safe haven theme dominating the headlines, with both assets drawing flows from riskier ones. Back in India, the Nifty 50 held firm above the 25,000 mark yesterday but witnessed some late profit booking, closing at 25,108. Sensex was also steady, finishing just shy of 82,000. Market players are watching for FII flows, which have been mixed so far this month amid global jitters. Sectoral cues favor private banks and select large tech, while mid-caps might see volatility. Tata Capital and LG Electronics IPO are currently open. For today's session, Nifty 50 finds immediate support at 25,000 and 24,950, with next major support seen at 24,728. On the higher side, resistance stands at 25,220, and any sustained move above can push the index towards 25,450. For Bank Nifty, support is placed at 56,000, while resistance zones are lined up between 56,500 and 56,800. Watch for a decisive breach of these levels for early directional clues. Commodities are setting an interesting tone. Crude oil edged higher overnight with West Texas Intermediate quoted near $62 per barrel, and Brent crude also gaining ground. Tensions in the Middle East and supply disruptions are providing an undercurrent of support. Gold saw another push, reaching close to $4,000 before cooling off, maintaining an upward trend as a preferred safe haven. Silver likewise moved higher. Movement in these commodities is likely to ripple into Indian metals, energy, and jewelry stocks today. Here's your tactical idea for today. With volatility peaking across global and Indian markets, it's a day for prudent allocation and selective trading. If you're long equities, keep tight stop losses just below key support levels, especially on Nifty and Bank Nifty. For short-term traders, any early dip toward 25,000 on Nifty can be an opportunity for quick bounces, but keep half an eye on global cues, which could turn sentiment rapidly. In commodities, gold's upward momentum can be watched for short spurts, but avoid chasing prices at extremes. Stay sharp and flexible as headlines roll in, and remember, capital preservation is the best offense when volatility reigns. That wraps up your morning overview. Stay tuned for the evening wrap and send in your market questions or trading dilemmas. You could get featured on our next episode. Have a profitable day, everyone.